Welcome. It's 10 p.m. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Telegram, amongst others. Remember to comment, like, and share. Watch it and comment on the main feed on YouTube or Facebook. Then we can put your messages on screen when you say hello. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're drinking tonight. And, well, Marty is, you're trying that lovely World Whiskey Day Power stuff.
Joe sent us a wee gift for World Whiskey Day, but you had mine. You had mine. So I'm only getting caught up with this now. So a wee bit of John's Lane. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
I was impressed. I was impressed myself. Yeah.
But did you tell me you weren't that well struck on the Three Swallows? Was that the one you said?
Three Swallows that I wasn't that bothered about,
Yeah. No, I like Pars. I like Pars. Pars is quite nice.
Of the three that we get sent, rate them in your order.
I will go with John's Lane. It would be my favourite of the three. Then probably the Three Swallows and the ordinary one. But that, again, it's horses for courses. And there'll be more on this later on, because it's horses for courses. I mean, if you're buying Pars at 20 quid a bottle, it's about a third of the price of some of the other two. So yeah, I mean it's horses for courses. But if I was picking one, I would pick the John's Lane one. That would be my go-to one out of those three.
Very good, very good. So it's a busy show this week.
It's always busy. But me and you are busy. That's just not that. That's just putting time pressure on us, Justin, because we're actually working.
Has a bit.
Actually gainfully employed.
Met Mark Kerr at Stormont today, actually. But Carlo Whiskey Companion's waiting in the wings, isn't he?
Carl's coming on to give us his auction roundup on what's been going on auction-wise, because things are going nuts again. There's up and down and all over the place. And Carl will obviously clarify and confirm. And where's James at? Mulibwanji. That must be Swahili or something, is it? Mulibwanji.
Is he in Kenya on safari or something?
No, I don't think so.
Where are you, James? Where are you tonight?
Where you are, buddy.
Stuart Quayle saying, "Hello, good evening. If you've just joined us, we'll always try to give new people a mention because the audience is growing dramatically all the time. We're well into double digits viewing tonight as well. And, well, the shows have been doing particularly well this while back. I think people are into the Jubilee spirit and they're having a wee snifter at the weekend or something like that.
Well, that's just that. To anyone, I know a few people are over at the Jubilee concert and all that there. Congratulations to everybody. Congratulations to Your Majesty. Hope everyone went all right. Nice day for you and all.
These people that can bag front row seats, I tell you.
Well, that's what you have to do to get the front row seats.
Right.
My mate keeps texting. My mate keeps sending me pictures of all the where he's been and where he's at this week. And
it's Malawi. It's Malawi from Donegal. There you go.
I don't think there's a big goal for Malawi and Chichima.
Well, I know somebody who said in their shop that they spoke Swahili, and that was all very well until several years in, the Swahili consul phoned them and asked them to translate at a conference, and they had to say, "It's a joke. We don't actually speak it." This would only happen in Ireland. Frank Curran saying, "Even gentlemen, he's in the short cross tonight." And then Fifi saying she's on it too. Enjoy. Thomas Jones. What is he saying? I passed off an off license on Wednesday, and if Marty would have seen it, he would have had trouble to get him out of it. The front was full of silky. Where was that, Thomas? Let us know where it is.
Aye, excellent stuff. I like that. I like the way Fiona. You shouldn't be getting. You should, as NWA said, you shouldn't be getting high off your own supply. Fiona's drinking short cross. You should change it up a bit, Fiona. Get something else out.
Connor saying good evening. Jamie Jameson is saying having a drop of the Power signature tonight himself. Dan Curley saying hello. And Texas Spoon Tapper, the show's going well because the content is excellent. Keep up the good work. It's the planning we put into this. We put as much planning in as the BBC do to the Jubilee celebrations. It's seamless.
No, I was talking to a girl today. She says, "Oh, what's the show tonight?" And I genuinely said, "I'm not 100% sure. I've got it. I have to." Yeah, Fiona, it is lovely. It is lovely. Keep up the good work. You know, I'm a big fan of yours.
Well,
there's something annoying me down here. Right, that's okay. Anyway, right, get on with the news because we can't keep Carl waiting all day.
All right. Here we go. We'll hit the news. Here we go.
Now, we start off on a sad note. I've got a rejection letter, Justin. I've got a Dear John. I think most people did. It was from Irish Distillers. Dear Marty, sorry to let you down, but bugger off because you're not getting a ball of dream can. Right, let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is basically like not winning in a raffle. Because I'm being serious. If I won this, I'd be open and honest about the whole thing. I know there's plenty of people come and say, "Oh, I'd love to win it," and open it up. Bollocks. I would get that. The way I'd look at it is, I'm going to make £1,000 off that. And I'm sorry to say that. Everybody knows I'm a huge whiskey fan, but it just is. So that's why people are entering this, and it means that people like myself who really like whiskey and like trying new stuff. I'm entering it, knowing, well, if I sell that, if I maybe open it up, maybe share it with people or whatever, if I can make £1,000 off that in about 3 months. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not in a position to turn down a spare £1,000. I'm not. So all these people are getting the Dear John letters, like myself. I mean, that's unfortunately that's where the trade is at the minute, and you're getting these. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not that disappointed because I'm not going to drink it. So it's not that big a deal to me, if I'm totally honest.
What I could do with the 20 million in the lottery tonight, and then I wouldn't need to worry about the Dear John letters,
All right, but there is a chance. Now, if you're about Dublin, Stuart's only know how many times did I enter. Stuart, I entered twice. I had 2 different emails, and that was it. I can't be bothered doing all that. It's not really me, because I just can't be arsed setting up 40 different fake accounts and Hotmail accounts and all that crap. I just can't be bothered with it. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Now, but there's a chance if you happen to be about O'Brien's, the Celtic Whisky Shop, or Brian Thomas on Grafton Street, and buy a bottle of 12-year-old ordinary redbreast, you might be Willy Wonkaed, because they've got a golden cork. There's 3 golden corks lurking about. And if you find one of those, they'll give you a bottle. They'll give you a bottle.
This does sound amazing, Marty. This does sound amazing.
Right. I mean, what's not to like about that? The only thing is, it's only it's only available in O'Brien's Celtic Whisky Shop with Brian Thomas. I don't know whether they've got one each or whether, so they're keeping that all under wraps. So, yeah, I'll be quite happy to possibly buy a bottle of Redbreast 12 if I was down that way, and if I happen to pick up a golden cork, yeah, well, that'll be an added bonus, so yeah, it'd be good.
Where did they get this idea from? It seems particularly good. I mean, is it limited to Brian Thomas itself, is it?
No, you're not listening to me.
I was listening to you, but you
said
I
said it's O'Brien's Celtic Whisky Shop and Brian Thomas.
Right.
And they probably they probably got the idea from Roald Dahl. The boy who used to write Willy Wonka.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what
they're actually filming the prequel to Wonka in Oxford earlier on this year. So there you go.
Were you over there? You were over there touring, weren't you?
It was lovely holiday. Now, let me see.
You were supposed to be working, you lazy cat.
I know. But what have we got next tonight then?
Just before we leave that, Bushmills, by the way. If you're not a member of the Bushmills Giants Club Association, whatever you want to call it, they have a thing where if you buy a 10-year-old bottle from them, they're going to give you 2 miniatures gratis for free. Let's be honest, in the whiskey world at the minute, free's not the word. That's not something that happens about too often. 2 miniatures, one for you, one to give to your father for Father's Day. A 2004 French rum miniature.
Okay.
There's 300 of these. 300. So if you're buying a bottle of 10-year-old, which to be honest, I think the 10-year-old Bushmill single malt is pretty damn good value. What is it, £35 a bottle, roughly, something like that? It's in and around £35 a bottle. And you're going to get two. I say they put it down as 2004, so it's probably 17, 18-year-old whiskey. Beautiful, beautiful. So if you're not, I've just noticed, it's not a real gold cork. It's not a real gold cork.
And John
Maybe
McDougall says, "How do you know?" Yeah,
John, bad weekend for you last week, boys. But good week for Forest. Yoo-hoo, Forest up. Come on. Yeah, but no, that I mean that's extremely generous of Bushmills. The way things are going at the minute. I have to say that's extremely generous of them. So well done. Good on them, you know.
very good, very good, very good.
Now, next up, it's the Feis Isla. It's the Feis over on the island of Isla. Obviously, massive whiskey events. People coming from all over the world to go to it. I'd love to go to it, but well, start work again tomorrow. It's
Actually,
currently
they're
on.
looking at a job at the Isla Hotel, part-time housekeeper. That would be the ideal job because you'd only work 3 days a week and you could spend the other 4 at the whiskey distilleries in Isla then.
Oh, could do that. Everywhere's looking staff. I don't know where all the workers went to. Everywhere, every hotel you go to, every attraction, everything you go to, there's people looking staff. That's another argument. Anyway, I've seen some people over, and the weather they got today just looked perfect. Just looked beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But they're running a couple of raffles to raise money. Now these are limited to 2,000 tickets, and there's 2 of them. This is a good one. This is a cracking one. For $14.99 buys you a ticket for this, and if you win it, you get every single festival bottle. Now I'm not sure how many it was. I didn't list that, but you get every single bottle at the festival. For you know, that's a hell of a prize.
How much is that worth, Marty?
Oh, thousands. But yeah, I mean that's a superb prize. The other one is for $9.99, and there's 2,000 tickets. And if you get that, you want a 2-day trip to Isla, that gives you your flight from Glasgow, accommodation, transport, whiskey distilleries, visits, food, lunch, a whole heap for a couple of days. What's not to like about that?
Nice one of our fans was saying he's on the way to Isla, but I don't know. I can't remember who it is. There's that many people now following the channel. I can't remember who it is. If it's you, hit us up, and you must be at the festival, so hit us up and tell us.
But I mean, it'd be nice to have been over there today. The weather would have just set it off. There's bands playing, there's kids doing the dancing and whiskey festival stuff all over the place. So yeah, it'd be a nice day to be there.
Do I have a wee video of this as well?
You do. That's right. I sent you the video. Fire it up, Justin.
We'll hit it.
Hi there, folks. My name's Emma Clark, and I'm chair of Explore Isla and Jura. And today, I'd love to tell you about an amazing competition that we're running in partnership with Feis Isla. The Isla Festival is an amazing time to be in the island, but so is the rest of the year, which is why we're offering you the chance to experience that too. Isla has got so much to offer, and we hope you can enter this competition to win a complete package of flights, accommodation, food and experiences. By entering, you will be supporting the festival's charity work across the island. We all think Isla and Jura are the very best places to lift your spirits. So sit back and watch the very best our island has to offer. See you soon.
Stunning island, stunning.
That is gorgeous.
There's me at the back. I have to take you out in the canoe this year, actually.
As long as it's somewhere I can get a pint and a whiskey.
I'd love one of those things for dipping into the barrels.
I'd love a barrel. Never you worry about your dipper. If you buy me a cask, I'll buy you a dipper.
There you go. There's full details. Oh, I have patio furniture like that. There you go.
I have a beach like that just outside my house.
I know. Unfortunately, I don't. There's a trig point.
It could be a picnic stone for all you know.
They're doing the illegal stuff. They're drinking while walking.
Oh, aye. That's an advert. They'll be reported the way our friends at River Rock were.
That's right, yeah. Are they getting married? I love crabs.
A lobster. On a lobster boat.
Oh, look at that there. Oh, look at that there. Oh, look at that there. I think Isla should fly us over. Or we could go over in the boat. We could film all this. That would be great.
That'd be an idea.
I know. Ooh, what was that? Venison?
I'm going to say lamb.
There's your friend, cyclist. 4 abreast, 2 abreast, and 4. You wouldn't get past them. There's an accordion there, a couple of grand in accordion. Oh, this is a great promo for Isla. Or Islay, as some people have called it. Islay.
Oh, some
Isla
very
Islay.
I love Islay for some extremely badly trained tour guides. Bloody awful. There's the Paps of Jura. I can see them from my house. Yeah,
Lovely. Very
so
good.
Lovely.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. There you go. Full
John's
details.
asking what if you're going by ferry, what other island do you pass? Just curious. Well, that all depends where your start point is, John, my friend. If you're starting from Ballycastle, the only island you would be passing is Rathlin.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and if you pass another one, it might be Atlantis.
it could be. Yeah, but no, two nice competitions there. 2 nice raffles, and the money's going to charity as well.
Do they have a duck race during the fest? Do they have a river to have a duck race on? Do they?
I don't know, John. I don't know, buddy.
What kind of guy are you, Marty? You don't know there's a duck race?
I don't guide an island. I wish they did. I'd be the handiest guiding ever. Look, here's loads of whiskey. And everybody blocked by the time at night.
Wow. I was blocked last night. We had a sort of get together at my mate's bar for Her Majesty the Queen's 70th anniversary on the throne, and it was it was good. We had summer punch and fruit punch and stuff like that. It was delicious. It was delicious. I wanted to eat the fruit, but I wasn't allowed to because all the alcohol sups into the fruit. And if I ate that, I would definitely be in no fit state tonight.
Oh, I was over to see my aunt last night, and they're having a street party over in Brasheen, just up behind us here, and I ran into a couple of people who were Forest fans. Surprise, surprise! So
they're promoted.
Oh yes. So there's 4 of us that came together. And 2 of them were actually wearing Forest tops. There'll be a lot more Forest supported tops about
Here it's 20 past already, and cars waiting in the wings. What else do we have to do? What else do we?
A week of court cases, right? Diageo filed a trademark against Redemption Rye because they said the bottle was very similar to the Bullet Bourbon. And Bullet Bourbon has a trademark on it for the bottle. Now this is the bullet. There's the Redemption bottle.
Hold on. Yep.
Now they're similar, but one of them says embossed Bullet Bourbon here, and that other one says Redemption right across the middle of it.
Sure, there's lots that are embossed like that, aren't there?
I don't think it's the embossed. The way they put it is that it's a clear canteen-shaped glass bottle with rounded shoulders, and that's trademarked. And actually, it was a bit of a strange verdict because the jury found that the Bullet bottle was entitled to trademark protection and that the Redemption did dilute the distinctiveness, but it didn't award any damages. So,
hold on. I'm pretty sure there's lots of round-shouldered bottles out there like that, isn't there?
I mean, I think the whole thing with Redemption is a sort of pre-prohibition. That's kind of the idea of it. And there was lots of prohibition. I mean, these are they're almost medicine-y type bottles, aren't they? That's kind of the, that to me is the idea. That's
the medicine man from the Wild West. Yeah. It's not a good image, really, is it?
No, but I mean, the pre-prohibition stuff, there was lots of this style of bottle. I mean, even the likes of Mitchell's in Belfast had that kind of style of bottle. Mm-hmm. So I don't get it, but it just seems a bit pay, sure it God. Nobody's going to confuse the two. I mean, I know there's a Bullet Rye and Redemption Rye and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's a bit pay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But then there's another weird case as well this week. A whiskey brand that's owned by Tiger Lily Ventures called Lehman Brothers was tackled by Barclays Bank because they said that because they own the Lehman Brothers copyright, or they own the trademark of Lehman Brothers, because some like a residual thing, they took over some of the debts or whatever. And this whiskey tells the story of the Lehman Brothers Bank. I mean, and to be honest, the way it's sort of promoted, it's all bloody money and everything's all good and exit. They actually say on the website, Lehman Brothers whiskies, the spirit of the age of shameful excess. Now,
It's
correct
a
me
bit
if I'm
Nick
wrong.
Gleason, that, isn't it? It's a bit OTT. It's a bit yuppie-ish, isn't it?
Do you not think it's a bit in bad taste whenever you consider how many people went bankrupt, how many people lost their homes, and many people negative equity all around the world, and these people are coming out, oh, celebrate Lehman Brothers, and it's a bit shitty, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. One of them's called Snapfire, Ashes of Disaster, and Evergreen. Is the three bottles.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rotating
personally,
around there.
yeah. I mean, I think it's just.
Are the deer, are they any good?
I don't know, mate. I have no idea. I'm going to imagine they're not fantastic, but it's just. Aye, exactly, Connor. Why not just call it greed is good? I mean, to be fair, at least Gordon Gekko was up front about it.
Money never sleeps, money never dies, or whatever.
No,
I
mean,
loved that show. It was brilliant.
I thought it was great too. But I mean, the thing is, why would you buy a bottle celebrating the fact that bankers nearly destroyed the entire financial system in the world, the whole planet?
There's Declan Boyd. Going back to that bottle, half bottle whiskey is rounded. You're right, it is rounded.
So yeah, I mean, it just seems a bit. It seems a bit petty by Diageo. And
The judge mustn't drink.
Diageo's rapidly becoming the Disney, the Disney of the alcohol world. I mean, Disney. I remember my son was watching Goodfellas one night. Me and him was watching Goodfellas, and he says to me, he says, "Dad, does the mafia still kind of run Las Vegas?" I says, "No, son, they get outgunned." He says, "What do you mean?" I says, "Well, Mickey Mouse appeared." He says, "He didn't get it at all." I says, "Son, wait to tell you something. The mafia might shoot you. Disney will really screw you over. Disney will ruin all your ancestors, all your descendants' lives as well. You know, they're so litigious, it's unbelievable."
There you go.
Please don't sue me, Mickey Mouse, please. But yeah, so that was a couple of weird sort of lawsuits. Now, last thing on the agenda before we get Carl on. The Irish Whiskey Association has launched its Sustainability Roadmap 2022. And it's all very commendable. Have you got the PDF up there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. There it is,
Right.
yeah.
The thing is, there is a bit where I think they might just have cut and pasted this little bit of it, right? Skip down to page 5. Next one. Yes, this one. Our responsibility. Now, bear in mind, this is an Irish Whiskey Association document. And what it says is, this is the Sustainable Development Goals. I think they've cut and pasted this possibly from the UN website, because it talks about they're going to try and end world poverty, zero hunger, save the fishes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think David and Fiona at Shortcross are going to try and end the world hunger. You know, they might try and cut down on their packaging. It's not exactly the same thing. It's the Irish whiskey industry. How are they going to do all of this?
It's not really their remit, isn't it? They're going beyond the remit. It's all very well being carbon neutral and all this stuff and being environmentally friendly and not polluting the river, but to make outlandish claims like that's a bit OTT, isn't it?
I think they've just cut and pasted this as a bit of filler. But I was reading down through the document, and there's lots of commendable stuff. There's lots of stuff that it's also pragmatic. You know, why not try and cut down on your waste, on your usage of stuff? Because the more you cut down on it, the less expensive it's going to be. So fair enough. But no, whenever it goes on about going to end world hunger and zero poverty and a fair and equitable world and save the fishes and all, it's like, well, hang on, I don't think Bushmills are going to be able to end world hunger. They might be able to make whiskey a bit more efficiently, but that's about the height of it. You know, that's just nuts. But a couple of really nice things in it.
Reuse of vacant buildings as Irish whiskey distillers. I like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know they've been doing that, and I mean, we've talked about this before about old buildings fallen into disrepair because they're listed, and that means that nobody can actually do anything with them. And the whiskey industry taking on that heritage on board is really good. So far, the Irish whiskey industry has planted 120,000 trees in Ireland. Very good. And another fact that popped up on it that I thought was pretty cool, they're importing 300,000 barrels from America, bourbon barrels, a year at the minute. 300,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of barrels. A lot.
They
of
come
barrels.
in containers, do they? I would imagine,
Yeah, pretty. A lot of them will come. A lot of them will come pre-built up because there's not enough coopers.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 registered coopers or something in the whole Ireland. 4, something like that. I think there's only 200 in the whole of the British Isles. So anyway, but no, nice document. Post it up there, and then people can have a look at it themselves and see if they find anything interesting. And if they do,
I do.
have a wee comment.
I'll stick the link up for that. Yes, Card's standing by. We're halfway through.
Bring
the
him
show
on.
tonight.
We're halfway through. Card, we
bring
do
him on.
apologise. Do apologise, Card. We
I'll
got
bring
carried
him
away.
on. Bring him on. Here he is. Here he is. There we go. Welcome.
There he is. There he is.
Hey lads, how's things?
Not too bad, buddy. You're sitting there, and we get carried away chatting away. It's half an hour in.
Don't worry, I've just been sipping on some Green Spot, Leoville Barton, so you know.
See that? See back glass of it.
Doing fine.
Back glass of it. Our card. No dirt about you, son. Sir, there's no dirt about you.
Exactly.
Well, we're not right with you this month.
All good, yeah. I'm getting a bit done in the house, so it's been a bit hectic. So, but
well, I've been trying to get bookshelves done by my wee neighbour,
right.
And he can't. No, not done yet. Not done yet.
No.
So anyway,
yeah, my house was like a construction site for the last month and a half. So finally got the floors in. So.
Well, I've been there, done all that. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So what's new in the whiskey auction world this month?
Yeah, it's been a bit strange this month.
It's been strange every month for about the last 2 years.
Yeah. I feel like I say it every time. Yeah. Yeah, like you were just saying about the dream casks there. So historically when a new one comes in, obviously the other ones tend to have a little bit of a rise. And surprisingly, there wasn't too many dream casks up this month at all. There was actually only one dream cask 20, the PX version, in Irish Whiskey Auctions that just ended, and that went and increased its price by 36% from it was $750 average for the last year, and went straight up to over 1,000. So there were people who were looking to get these to complete their sets, or to in anticipation of the new one, to maybe get a second set. But yeah, to look at the numbers that we've had this month alone, we've had total sales of just over 12.7 million, and that's over 70 in auctions and 29,300 bottles or lots being sold. So that's what I track anyway. Yeah. And we still have Whiskey Auctioneer is still running their auction for May.
The big one.
Doesn't finish. Yeah.
And that's the big one.
That's a big one, exactly. Yeah, so it'll be a couple of million extra, which is interesting. But when I was looking at the breakdown of the auction sites and the sales that they've had, it's a lot lower this month than previous months. But it is generally a trend. People start going on holidays now that COVID is over, and they don't have as much disposable income to spend on whiskey. Which is so
they have to buy drink and Ben on Medina.
Exactly. They need to spend triple the price, or half the price of what they would in Ireland.
No, they're quite happy to spend £500 on a bottle of whiskey over here, but they want tequila at 2 shots for €1 poured down their neck.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that myself.
Stuart Quayle's asking about the Thormond Gate Batch 1.
Yep, that was a very big one. I don't think anyone expected it to go for what it went for. It was over €3,000.
Just nuts.
3,600, I think it was altogether.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah. I mean, the last one that came to auction, because for those that don't know, it was the first one that was brought out by Tom and Gate. It was their single pot still, and there was only 100 bottles, and sold out very, very quickly. And there's only been a handful that have come to auction, and a couple of £100 was what they were getting. 3,600 euros. I don't think anyone could have. No one could have.
Someone had a screw loose there, thinks Connor.
Well, there's at least 2 people who had screw looses.
I would say at least there must have been a whole batch of screws going nuts there. I mean,
I'd say so. And
crazy.
what was strange is Thomond from an auction perspective, from secondary markets, it seemed to cool down in the last 6 months or so. It seemed to be going the way of JJ Corrie, where you were able to pick up the bottles that were previously very tough to get for very cheap. Like I got one of the peated bourbon casks for less than retail, and that was only 2 months ago. Yeah. And then it just comes out with this whopper of $3,000. Yeah, and speaking of bonders and JJ Corrie, one other thing that I noticed this month as well was there was an Armada set. So there was the Armada 50, which was one of the first ones that JJ Corrie brought out. Mm-hmm. Very highly sought after. It came in a nice box. That was doing very good money about 2 years ago now. And they subsequently brought out 4 total batches of the Armada. And the set itself didn't reach reserve the first time around. So I think it sold or didn't sell, but it didn't meet reserve at €680. And then after the auction, it was sold for €750. And that was the set. And a single bottle of the 50 sold for €570. So you got 3 extra bottles for £200.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to keep track of just what is doing what, because it bounces about all over the place, and there's still bargains to be picked up. What I consider bargains that people don't seem to want to be buying or collecting, which I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later. But it's just I don't know. It seems very strange. Some of the stuff just seems very strange.
It is, and it's very tough to pinpoint what exactly is happening, or to try and make sense of it. Like it is a very tough thing. A lot of people focus on the glamorous bottles, so the likes of Middleton, Redbreast Dreamcast, that sort of thing. And in the grand scheme of things, it's the safe bet. You buy a Middleton. Look at Middleton 2022. If you got a bottle of that, you instantly were going to make 50% more on your money. So I mean, it's a tried and tested method. So you can kind of understand people focusing on them. But the more people that focus on it, the more the hype goes up, the more the prices go up, and it's just a vicious circle.
It baffles me. It really baffles me because I think I've got rid of pretty much all my Middleton. Because if I'm honest, it doesn't excite me all that much, and I've got rid of most of it, and bought other stuff.
As some comedians here, can they take the whiskey out just to sell the sealed air bottles? Everybody will win then.
Oh, if you go on eBay, John, don't worry, there's people doing that. So there's people buying all these empty bottles, and I wonder what they could be doing with them. Why would you?
Definitely just wall art, isn't it?
Sure, you're not even allowed to sell an empty iPad Air box in case you're selling fake iPad Airs. Because I've tried to sell the empty box and you won't let you. Did it stay in the country? Was a question that was asked tonight.
I don't know.
Thomond Gate, is that the Thomond Gate bottle?
The Thomond Gate one, yeah. God knows. I wouldn't be the person to ask, unfortunately.
And I don't think anybody would be in person to ask for that because they wouldn't really want to be able to tell you that.
Well, there's GDPR, but no, I don't have that data to share.
No, it's so what's up next? What else have you got for us?
Mm-hmm. So there's something that we've kind of made a habit of talking about,
Yeah.
which is the amount of money raised by charity from the auctions.
Wow.
I think this is like we can't commend this enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great to see people in, like, you know, the auction houses have no they don't have to do this,
No, of
they
course
do it
not.
off their own bat, and they omit their buyers' commissions and donate the buyers' commissions in most cases. And this month was a huge month for charities. So Whiskey Auctioneer had a full barrel that was donated by a customer, 460 bottles, completely donated. Every single penny went to the Ukraine fund, like the crisis fund,
Yep.
and it raised a total of 177,000, including the fees, which is astronomical.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's crazy. So fair play.
But then,
Irish
you know,
Whiskey Auction.
but I mean, look,
was-
I mean, to be honest, Whiskey Auctioneer is the big one. I mean, that's the behemoth. But then, I
Mhm.
mean, Irish Whiskey Auctions, I mean,
Yeah.
Anthony Key, I mean, 45 grand.
Yeah,
It's
like-
amazing. Amazing. Well done, guys.
It's
You know, congratulations.
unbelievable, and I can't commend
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, like 45,000. You know, a huge chunk of that obviously came from Thomangate. They donated a barrel, or the after costs of a barrel, and yeah, huge, and
Yeah.
then like it's money that makes a huge difference. So
But like, that's
yeah.
whenever you turn on the news every night and you see what's going on over there, yeah, God love him. You know, I listened to a podcast on the Telegraph. You know, the British Telegraph, the Daily Telegraph, and there's a thing on it about it's actually at the Fèis. They are a whiskey producer is selling bottles at the Fèis to raise money for Ukraine. He's in Ukraine. He's in Kiev, and he's talking about what he plans to do with the money. He's giving it to the military, but it's not to buy weapons. It's to help people's families from the military and stuff. It's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. You know?
It is, and yeah.
And
So yeah, again,
yeah,
wanted to touch on that, and like 220,000 across the board is
it's a fantastic,
amazing.
Money. Yeah,
Absolutely
that is
amazing.
fantastic. Right, what's up next?
So up next, I believe we have the barrels that were sold.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, this
again,
is
we saw this last month, where there was a world record set for a Macallan barrel going for sale for over €1 million. So yeah, basically over the last 6 months or so, I'd say there's been a huge increase in the amount of barrels that are going to auction, and it's something that kind of it's important to touch on and to kind of know about, especially if you're even thinking about buying one.
I think, to be honest, this is going to be much more prevalent in certainly the Irish whiskey industry in the next sort of 2-3 years. You're going to start seeing loads of these being traded about, because people have bought them, and well, what are you going to do with them?
Yeah,
you know, you need all the licenses, you need all of that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of hidden costs in these things, Marty, isn't there?
Well, there is, but if you can sell your barrel at auction, and let somebody else worry about the all those costs, because there's going to be people buying these barrels up. We have those licenses, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because some people there'll be some big winners and some very poor losers here. You know that.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, look, I put in Whiskey Hammer 340,000, and you know, I wanted to specifically call out that they did have just two barrels, and the two barrels were 170,000. You know, in
Macallan and Springbank,
or old Macallan and old Springbank, which are the hottest scotches right now in auction.
Yeah, or as they're known, licensed to print money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
exactly.
just ridiculous. You can't even buy the 12 and 15-year-old Springbanks anymore. You just can't get them because everybody's just buying them up. I mean, it's incredible. And good on them. You know, fair play to them. But
yeah,
I mean, Springbank's a great whiskey. Macallan, New Macallan's. I mean, I've a bottle there that's opened, one of them concept ones sitting there. It's 700, 800 £800 a bottle these days, and it's nowhere near. It's not even close to being worth that. I paid £80 for it, and I don't even think it's worth £80. But Springbank's a better whiskey than the Macallan, in my opinion. But I've said this umpteen times over the last while. Glen Scotia is a better whiskey than Springbank. It's a tastier whiskey than Springbank, and I think if anybody's looking decent investment bottles, Glen Scotia would be a really good one to pick up, because I think it's one of those ones that'll just go like that at some point.
At some point, exactly. I mean, like Springbank, the local barley that they bring out every year, the 10-year-old, £80 is I think is the retail, and it's a cask strength whiskey, and they're going for £500.
And to be honest with you, £500, the way the market's gone, is cheap. You know, in 2-3 years' time, you ain't picking them up for £500 a piece. You just won't.
No. So,
you know, but
So anyway, we digress. I just wanted to call that out, and you know, Celtic have started really selling barrels a lot. Like literally each auction. I think, apart from maybe this month's auction, I don't think they have any. I haven't checked, but like last month they had 3. And again, there was so I have them up here. So one is single pot still from Jack Daniels under bond, and that went for €1,800. One was a triple distilled single malt cask, that went for 1,600 or 1,500, and the triple distilled single malt. So there's a double distilled and triple distilled.
I don't know why Justin's putting that picture up.
I've got the wrong one up.
You've sort of jumped the gun again. You jumped the gun again. You're going the wrong way. No,
that's fun.
No,
is that the right one?
Yeah. So we're going to be on to this one, which I thought was an interesting one, and it's something that we've not really touched on before. Maybe we touched on it a slight bit last month or the month before. But in recent times, in the last couple of weeks, Ardbeg came out with an NFT whiskey, and the whole community went crazy. It was crazy money for the whiskey that it was.
What was it? It was like £3,000 a bottle or something. Ridiculous.
£3,000 a bottle.
But you get you get a bit of digital script or something with it. You and him probably understand.
Well, you get a token, but
I
mean, the good thing about it was that, or not the good thing, but the interesting thing about it was that you could burn the token. So basically, you could cash in on the token, the NFT, and once you cash that in, it's out of circulation, so nobody else can get that, but you get your bottle then. So it's kind of a way for them to track where you have your bottles, and you can cash in on the tokens at any stage. Like you can sell on the token.
All right. Still haven't baldy what you're talking about. Why can you not just buy a bottle of whiskey? Why can you not just have a bottle of whiskey? That if you want to keep it collect and set it and think good, if you want to open it and have a drink, go ahead. Why do we need a digital bit of script to turn around and say this is something? I honestly.
It's when the Matrix controls your mind, you'll be able to do that then.
Exactly. I mean, we're all going into the metaverse, aren't we? So we can just drink the whiskey there.
I don't mind the metaverse. Metaverse stuff sounds all right to me, but you can't get pissed in the metaverse. You know, you can't just sit and get drunk. You know,
very true.
I saw a guy the other day, and honestly, this is sort of off topic, but I saw a guy the other day, and he was sitting, and he was dressed in an old sort of pinstripe suit, you know, like a 1970s pinstripe suit.
Okay.
And he had a hat on. Do you remember Alex Higgins, the snooker player, had a hat one time, like a wide brim hat?
David Dickinson. Is it David Dickinson?
A wee feather on it. Like a wee feather on it. And he looked as happy as Laurie. And he was just sitting on a park bench drinking a bottle of Buckfast. And he had the music on, and he just looked as if he was enjoying himself, having a time of his life. And he looked dapper, happy. And I thought to myself, I bet you that guy's not worried about NFTs. He doesn't give a shit. That's not the metaverse. Honestly, I just thought to myself, you know, that guy's just enjoying his drink. He looked happy as a sandboy. I tell you, he was just brilliant. It was class. Yeah, you don't see people about like that anymore. You know, it's totally illegal. He could have got arrested for it, no problem. He didn't give a shit. Couldn't care less. You know, good on you, buddy. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so the bottle that we brought up there, so it was a Bonhams auction. It was in Hong Kong, and it's Glen Grant, 1948, 72-year-old whiskey, and it sold for a little over 110,000 euros when you factor in the premium. So they have quite high premiums in Bonhams. It's like 20%.
I think it's 28%. I think it's 28%. My friend.
I think 28% is for anything below a certain amount, like 50,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's only 20%.
I see. I can only afford the stuff below 50,000. I've got like this.
Just for Justin to know, you know, when he's buying you something.
Justin, he can afford that stuff. That's not for us, Covent Garden, bottom auctioneer buyers, you know. But no, Connor's asking about this 290 bottles out of 72-year-old whiskey. I asked someone this one time, how do you get something that's 200 bottles, 300 bottles out of a cask that's so old? And what they said was nobody touches it. What they do is they test to see just how full it is, and if it's not actually going down any, because some casks are sealed well enough, the wood in them sealed well enough that there's no real angel share coming out of it. Yeah, and that's what they said. They said that if you get a cask like that, you tend just to leave it and don't bother opening it. You test it, you just leave it. So that's what they said. And well, they have over 30 odd years experience in the job, so that's what they told me.
They're just tops then.
Yeah, they said that if you have a cask that's not going down any, you tend not to touch it for a while. So
that's fair. Yeah. Well, it was an American oak ex-sherry cask, so yeah, but it doesn't say if it was a hogshead or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting piece because one, you have the very old whiskey in its nice presentation box, but it also came with art, painting, Year of the Dram 2022, and a meta malt NFT. So you did get the digital token as well as the bottle, which I thought was an interesting concept. So instead of it being like Ardbeg, where you buy the token and you have to kill the token to get the bottle, you get both of them. So it's like a digital certificate in a sense.
All right, good. Happy days, brilliant. I'll take your word that that's a good thing.
I actually don't know whether I think it's a good thing or not.
All right, that's all right. We're in the same page.
I just thought it was. Yeah, it was just an interesting way of doing it. I'd never seen it done before.
Well, guys, if you haven't a baldy, there's not much chance that I have a clue what you're talking about. Not a notion, not a clue.
So we've got about 10 minutes left tonight, folks. Remember to comment, like, and share. Say hello if you've been watching. What else? What's the last one about tonight, Carl?
So the last one is one that Marty is going to be quite interested in, which is the legacy bottles. And
we like legacy bottles.
Yeah. So there were quite a few of these in the auction. Marty alluded to it earlier, where he was saying, you know, there's some bargains out there and stuff that people maybe should be bidding on but aren't.
For the life of me, I can't understand it. You know, there's people will pay big money for a Middleton. Even you take 2009 Middleton bottle. I mean, you're talking what, $4 or $5 grand for one of those?
Went for $5 grand in the last one,
yeah.
5.3.
How many of those is there? Thousands of them. There's thousands of bottles of it, right? Even a sort of limited release Middleton 2009. The reason it's so dear is because there's a lot less of them produced. But you're still talking maybe 10,000 bottles released, 20,000 bottles. You know, and you're talking normally a Middleton yearly release, you're talking 35,000 plus bottles. Meanwhile, you have bottles of stuff that's distilled 100 plus years ago from long gone distilleries from a totally bygone era and you've got bottles. I mean, how many bottles of there was an old Cumber in that 22-year-old old Cumber. Went for €1,000. €1,000. How many bottles of that is there in the world? One,
Very
five,
few, yeah.
5. I would be, if there's 5 of those bottles in the world, I would be sort of surprised. If there's 10, I would be absolutely flabbergasted. So yeah, why these bottles are not making vast sums of money is beyond me.
It doesn't make sense. Like, even there's these legacy brands now that are being reborn, in a sense.
The Lazarus brands, they've all
the Lazarus brands, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of them that are being sold here, they're being true to the brand itself.
Yeah.
And they're not bastardizing it. They're not, just using it to have a quick sale or just to swindle the consumers out of a bit of money. Like,
yeah, I mean, these are proper historic museum pieces, essentially, that don't go for big money. Whereas guys buy, I mean, Russell's alluding in a series saying, you buy whiskey, you drink. Yeah, but it's a bit like cars. You buy a car to drive, but loads of people buy a car that they can put in the garage and drive on a Sunday, or to pull out and have a look at, just polish it. And that's what loads and loads and loads of people do. But with whiskey, it's kind of the same thing. But I can't for the life of me understand why people would be so enamored of buying Middleton. I mean, that's why I say I've sold all that, because it just went crazy, and I thought to myself, what the hell am I hanging on to that for? There's other stuff that I really like to have, just to look at, it's just nuts. It's just nuts.
It is. No, it is crazy. And I mean, you shouldn't have sold your Middleton so early. The 2019 went up for 40% this month.
Listen, I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough with what I traded. I'm happy enough with what I traded my Middleton
rub
for.
it in. Why don't you, Carl? Just rub it in. Rub it in.
No,
I seen that. I seen that. I was looking at it.
It's all right. I know where I stand.
No, but as I say, it's I'm happy enough with what I traded it for, But yeah, I mean, John's asking, are we going to Whiskey Live? I'm not going to Whiskey Live because I'm working. I haven't really worked in 2 years, so I'm actually just piling on the work.
We do have a couple of exciting things which we will reveal later on in the year. We might be going to, Marty. Yes.
Aye, well, we've got stuff.
See what happens.
Stuff for later on. But no, just with Whiskey Live, I'm booked for work.
I'll be there.
We're getting asked there. Why is that not showing? Show that. There we go. MVR isn't really aimed at actual whiskey heads.
I think it was initially aimed at whiskey heads. It was whenever nobody was collecting it, it was aimed at that. But now it's just silly. I mean, it's a bit like the Dreamcast stuff. I mean, if I had won the chance to buy one of them, I would have bought one. But I had no intention of ever drinking it. I would have just flipped it over and bought a pile of other whiskey. It would have been, yeah. I'm terrible.
Listen,
but at least I'm honest.
But you not buy one to drink and buy one to keep.
I didn't get a chance of buying either of them.
Russ Bishop is in Ontario, Canada, and he says sometimes I think it's look what I have thing, like share my whiskeys. Is it the people that share the whiskey bottle in their crotch with their big bling watch and the big logo of their rather expensive German car? Yeah. I know what those people are.
Bell ringers. No, but I mean the thing is, Russ, it's people who collect whiskey collect it. I have a friend who has a room done out, and it's bottles that he just wants to look at, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's a perfectly good thing to be doing, but it's what people collect. And Middleton's not really for
what
for
about this
anymore.
What about this? What does it even taste like? It's been that long since I tried it.
Hang on.
I still think it tastes good.
That's all right.
I'd still go
fine.
over.
No more.
I'm happy to lift a bottle of tequila out to get to it. That's how much. Hang on.
Definitely not me. Rush Bishop. No, he buys it to drink. There you go.
There we go. Look, there.
I would have a Barry Crockett over a Middleton very rare though.
Put it like this, Mark. I'll get you a wee drop of it, and then you can tell me. You can tell me what you think. No, I mean, I think it's all right. It's a nice whiskey, ish. But I wouldn't go daft for it. I actually left it this because of a wee thing I've got to say. I left it this, and I'd be honest with you, I would prefer that to Middleton very rare. Cool. You can. John, me and using the same page, buddy. That honestly, see that is awesome stuff. So it is, and that cost me like £21, £22, and I was getting shit from France and everything. I mean, oh my God, it's superb.
Those collectors are ruining it for the rest of us who want to buy and drink it. Maybe so. It's part of the game too. That I thought you weren't going to buy any more whiskey anyway, Marty. I thought that was the whole teaser tonight on the show. What's all this about, Carl?
This is my thing. I have a mountain of whiskey here now over the last while. I've talked about this the other week where I've said anybody who has a whiskey collection, you always a whiskey collection that you're opening and drinking, you always end up with a load of old shit. You do. It's just crap stuff. There's good stuff you drink, and over a period of time, you just end up with mountains and mountains of pish. And it used to be I could just force it down the Exorcist neck. Okay, whenever I lived beside old Davy, and he come over and just drank any old crap because he was sticking ginger on it. I just shoved it out to him. But I'm living in Glenarm now, and he's up in Ballymena. So it's I've decided I'm making a conscious decision. There's so much stuff of sort of middling quality that's a bit pricey and a bit too expensive for what it is. So I'm going to take a hiatus of buying stuff to drink. I have a pile of stuff here to drink. I'm not going to... The stuff that I'm going to buy for over the next while is probably stuff to put in a collection, right? That's essentially what I'm going to do, because I do collect whiskey.
But there's loads of new stuff coming out from all these new distilleries, Marty. It's all due out. Sure, you've been promised stuff. What are you going to do with it?
Aye. Listen, we'll get stuff. I'm not ruling out totally that I'm not going to buy it, but I'm not buying stuff to drink because, I mean, look, I've that sitting there, Belfill the 18, great whiskey. Why am I going to spend more money when I've stuff like that sitting there? I have stuff like the prostitute bottle for Pokes. I mean, that looks like the red light district. That looks like that looks like some sort of sex toy. Let's be honest.
Giving me a hangover just looking at it.
Yes, it is. It's bloody awful. But what I'll do is, because let's be honest, we can do this easy enough. A couple of these. Then you've won a couple of these. Like, back you one of these, and it's kind of like balancing act. But that's what I'm saying. I've got mountains of stuff. So I'm not buying any more whiskey other than stuff that is really, really interesting or really collectible or really something like that. Okay? That's it.
Rush Bishop wants to know what's your best bets at the moment. And Kieran Hollywood says, are you not going to go for the Yellow Spot 13 single cast then?
No, I didn't bother. I saw the stuff, or I saw advertisement. I'm completely bothered because people will be just chasing it around, and then it'll go on the whiskey site, and then it'll go on the auction sites and stuff. I can't be arsed. I just can't be arsed. I have a mountain of stuff here, some really good stuff to drink. I have some crappy stuff that what am I going to do with it? And I'm working away. So other people are buying me booze when I'm away, so I don't really have to. But no, what I'm saying is that there's I've loads of stuff here, and I'm not running around doing a whole 40 different names to try and possibly win a bottle that might be worth money or it might not, and then drinking it. I'm just taking a wee break. When I drink away at stuff, I have 2 bottles of this wonderful gear here. 2 bottles of that wonderful 43. And as Connor, I did a review of this a couple of weeks ago, and I put it up last week. And you're 100% right. Why they don't release a 46% Black Bush? Oh my God. It's just the best. It's fabulous stuff. And why Black Bush is not the showpiece whiskey of Irish whiskey is beyond me. And it's just down to the market, and it's just down to the company that owns them. That's the truth. I mean, it should be anyone who has taste buds and thinks that Jameson, and let's be honest, there's Jameson and the rest of the Irish whiskey industry. But anyone with taste buds that tells me that Blackbush, and especially this stuff here, isn't 100 times better than Jameson really needs their head examined. They really do. You know, it's just nuts. But and if they put the time and the effort and the care into Blackbush and just put it where it really needs to be, honestly, the sales of it would just go through the roof. Just would, you know. But
There you go.
It's not getting it, you know.
Great show tonight again, Carl. Great show tonight, Marty, as well.
That was great being on. Yeah.
Russ Bishop, he wants us to send some stuff. You buy me a first class Air Canada ticket, and I'll bring it to you in Ontario.
Russ, you want to come to Glenarm, buddy? No problem at all. Me and you'll make a fairly hefty dent in that, you know. And Connor, you're 100% right. And Jose Cuervo had no idea what to do at Proximo, Jose Cuervo, whatever you want to do. Diageo couldn't have cared less about the brand. I think possibly they've moved on a little bit, and some of the stuff that they've been doing over the last while just isn't good enough. It's just not good enough, you know. I mean, I said it in the review of that stuff there. Everybody wants to love Bushmills. Everybody, but they just. I mean, the news this week was that the Peaky Blinders stuff comes out. Oh Christ! Get away. Why the Irish whiskey industry spent years trying to move away from the drunken fighting Irishman image, and what they do, Bushmills rushes in with Peaky Blinders. I mean, it's just proper 12. They just kick that out of the road. They end up Peaky Blinders. All of that. It's just nuts.
Like I did a little study on the Causeway collection versus an MVR release. So I thought that was quite interesting, where, for argument's sake, let's say a worldwide MVR release very conservatively has 40,000 bottles. So in real money terms, like at retail price, you're looking at 8 million gross sales.
Yeah.
Bushmills, Causeway 1 and 2 have just shy of 58,000 bottles total over 25 expressions, and that brings in 11.2 million in gross sales at retail. So, you know, there's one bottle getting 8 million and, you know, 40,000 getting exposure worldwide, and then there's, you know, the two collections.
Bushmill sales in the US last year went down. Yeah. How when you've got such good quality stuff? How on earth is that possible? Yeah, Irish whiskies, I mean, it's exploding all over. And Bushmill sales in America went down. I mean,
Middleton have brought out a 45-year-old whiskey, a 46-year-old whiskey, and they're going to bring out a 47-year-old whiskey shortly. And Bushmills is the only one that has that level of aged stock. And they don't have to bring it out at 40,000 euro or 35,000 euro. They could bring it out at a reasonable price, you know, 10,000 euro, 5,000 euro if they could.
All I know is there's a bottle of Bushmills lined up that'll be like a showpiece bottle coming out. That'll be probably part of the new Causeway collection coming out. Yeah. And I just hope they don't balls it up. I mean, we love Bushmills. Everybody should be loving Bushmills, but it's just, this is a fantastic. Oh no, what the hell are they doing? Oh no, and it just pops all over the place. We just really.
Peter Stewart summed it up. They're not telling the story with enough emotion. And William McLennan is saying, sorry, missed the show tonight. If you've missed the show, remember YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll be notified. You can catch up. Simple as that. If you like the show, buy us a coffee at Irish Whiskey.
But put it like this, I'm not buying any new whiskey until I make a fairly hefty dent and all that stuff, and move along with some of the other crap. But I will be buying some collectible stuff, I think, probably, maybe, if I have a chance. But listen, Carl, a pleasure as always.
Absolutely.